Well, looks like aliens are real. Check this out.
I think we have about 4 minutes before they call votes to open it up for a quick round of questions. So if you guys can just, let's start with Real America's Voice. Reports have said that there are perhaps 4 different alien species raised. How many species are you aware of?
I certainly don't have the compendium. It's a continuum from corporeal, bipedal type life to, you know, what I would consider as like sentient plasmoid life. But there are several that the U.S. government is aware of. Okay.
During the course of your investigation, it's been surfaced to the public that there's been a program by the name of Constellation. During the course of your investigation, did you recognize that the infrastructure to support such a program for exfiltration of data from federal systems would exist?
Yeah, I can't comment on the content of that program. I've discussed on my interview in Judicial Watch that was a National Security Council program. And the secrecy started in 1954 through an Eisenhower executive order that created that infrastructure.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Mr. Grush, Kristen Fisher with the Endless Void. When you look at where we are right now in this moment for the disclosure movement, what's at stake here?
I think the sovereign contract between the citizenry and its government. I think the institutional rot that the lack of transparency in this issue is possibly going to cause an unattainable socioeconomic condition if the government is not transparent, akin to certain other. I don't want to say the Epstein files. That's a dirty word, but we could have that kind of scandal if we're not transparent on this issue.
And do you have any advice for people who are new to the UFO topic, the UAP topic, who just really don't know where to begin? There's just so much misinformation out there. What is your advice to them?
I would go watch James Fox's documentaries. I like the Disclosure is a great movie. That's a good primer. So, and I also, there is a declassified 1971 Australian formally classified secret assessment that a couple years ago was put in the Australian National Archives. I encourage people to read page 7 through 16, and that was the nuclear branch chief of the Australian government discussing the U.S. cover-up and the involvement of the CIA back in the 70s. And that's actually a little-known document that is publicly available.
Can you explain right now what the roadblocks are? What is preventing lawmakers, and if lawmakers want to take a stab at this, from visiting locations that have been critical to reverse engineering or other things, that the knowledge is there, but the ability to go and see them is not.
I'll take a stop at that. If Congress says we're going to go to Area 51, if Congress says we're going to go to Area 51, everybody says, go to Area 51, Burchett. All I'm going to get there is a good dadgum T-shirt, all right? The moving van's already going to be there. The problem you have is that these things have been moved into private entities, so they don't have a FOIA. I could FOIA Ford Motor Company, get her, B, but doesn't mean they're going to do anything. That's why they moved it out of the federal governments, and that's part of the roadblocks. Other roadblocks we've seen, we tried to get a committee. We've had staff members try to block us when we first started this thing with that first hearing. That Grush said that there's biological entities. They tried to move it into remember that Russian balloon that flew over? They tried to move it into that.
Chinese.
And what was it? Chinese, excuse me, they're all together, I don't care. No, I know they're not, but they tried to move it into that.
So I'm not sure what to think. J.D. Vance said he thought aliens were demons, and this might be the only thing he and I actually ever would agree on.
We're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this.
We're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov. We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.